When you think of the symphony, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I bet it's not hip-hop. But the two merge in a new Charlotte Symphony program. Finding new relevance and reaching for new audiences, the symphony is delivering music in completely new ways and new places. Carolina Impact's Suzanne Stevens gives us all the details.
That is definitely classical music. Definitely Brahms, definitely Hungarian dances, but most definitely not classical dance. Our cameras were allowed stateside for dress rehearsal of a symphony program called Breaking Classical, in conjunction with the Fly Dance Company. They do hip-hop.
You're hoping to move the perceptions about classical music into the 21st century.
At the podium, Christopher James Lees. He called it so much fun. We sat down with him before the performance.
I was familiar with their work and how they brought energy to the stage, but to actually feel the heat of that energy on the stage while the orchestra is playing, leading it all, I mean, it was electrifying.
What would composer Edvard Grieg say if he saw this performance of Peer Gynt, which he wrote? But this is 2019, and this is not a culture clash, it's a culture match on purpose.
That kind of collaboration really is a metaphor for how arts organizations, how communities, how cities all around the world could work together beyond perceived differences to understand that there's actually more that unites us if we look for it and if we know that it's there in the first place.
Lees and his family moved to Charlotte in 2018. Before that, he taught at the North Carolina School of the Arts and crisscrossed the U.S. guest conducting some of the biggest orchestras in the country.
The nexus of activity in Charlotte in 2019 is indisputable, and it's an exciting time to be in this place, and I love it. I'm really, I'm falling in love with the city more and more every day.
One of the first ways he met the public here was behind the wheel of a DeLorean parked outside the Performing Arts Center, before taking the stage that night to conduct the musical score for the movie Back to the Future. Lees routinely goes on YouTube.
Hi everybody, this is Christopher James Lees, resident conductor for the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra.
This time he was using social media to sell tickets for the Youth Symphony's big concert. He says he's had virtually no pushback.
Anytime you make changes, it can make some people nervous. I think what we've tried to do at the Symphony is just include.
So you might have seen the orchestra and Lees out at breweries. Seriously, these performances sell out, and Lees even records promos, again for social media.
Beer. Always a good time. Come on down.
The Symphony has created a series of 3 concerts called On Tap, and you even get a custom Symphony beer glass. Lees says it's all about getting the Symphony outside the concert hall.
Going to the places where people already are and demystifying the idea that classical music is for the elite. It simply is not.
And the musicians seem to fully embrace the idea.
It's not that often that I'm, playing and being so very distracted by the amazing acrobatics going on in front of me. And yeah, I'm really excited for the show. I think people are going to love it.
He's not too far into this classical vein that some people can see as being sort of out of touch. He's cool. He's a very hip guy. He speaks incredibly well, but he's very smart, and he's a great conductor as well. So I think he's got all the characteristics that one needs for this position.
So you may see old pieces and new ideas on the same stage under his direction, and that's the whole point.
The ideas that I bring to the table are heard. The ideas that we develop together as a team are so important because everybody has a different finger on a different pulse in the city. We love being able to create those things, knowing that people will have transformative experiences when they join us.
So expect the occasional change as the new normal for the Charlotte Symphony.
Us coming together on the stage and making art, making beauty, drawing different elements of our musical specialties out of the other with such